Well, hello, friends. How are we this Friday? All right. So good to see each and every one of you from across the globe, across the country, and around the world. We are live, and I'm so thankful that you've joined me today. Very exciting about next Friday starting writebook60days.com. And I'm going to be sharing with you today how to RSVP for the event, how to RSVP for the event and be a part of what we're doing. So we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get on, and we'll be starting the webinar in about 3 minutes. So thank you very much. Let me know where you're watching from. Leave a comment. We're going to go about 20 minutes today. We're going to give everybody a minute to jump on. Very excited. We're going to have a special guest joining us in a moment. And I'm grateful that you joined us here today on this Friday, a beautiful Friday, coming at you from Dallas, Texas, from Frisco, Texas. So thank you very much. Beautiful, beautiful things ahead. I am Michael Butler, and we will be starting in a few minutes. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you for now. I think you're going to like this. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of when the solid ground is falling out from underneath my feet, between the black skies and my red eyes. Maybe I can't share the screen until you're on. When I realize I've been sold out by my friends and my family, I can feel the rain reminding me. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor. My sails are torn. Hi, Christine. Good to see you. We'll be starting the presentation in about 5 minutes. I see the future I picture slowly fade away, and when the tears of pain and heartache are pouring down my face, I find my peace in Jesus' name. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you guard my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. It's awesome. Well, very excited. We've got some exciting announcements, and that is, this is Michael Butler. I'm glad you're here with us. How are you today? I want to say we're glad you're here. It's May 1, and here's a funny factoid about May 1. I was supposed to be born May 1, but in fact, I was 9 days late. And in fact, my mom and dad named me Michael D. Butler on May the 10th. Mom finally got tired of carrying me around, and they went for a ride on a bumpy road, and guess what? They didn't go home. They went straight to the hospital. That's right, and induced labor. So I was 9 days late, but I've been running early. ever since, just to make up for it. So I am glad you're here. And if you've got a book in you, there's no better time than to write it. So we're going to share with you how to get that book done in 60 days. I've got a free offer. Stick around. I'm going to give you some writing tips. We got a special guest joining us from San Antonio, Texas. And I'm going to give you a chance to qualify for our writing group that starts 1 week from today. And with that being said, let's see if he's in the house. How you doing, Daniel Gomez?
Hey, good morning, Mr. Michael Butler, man. Hey, I feel like going to the beach today. So, man, here I am. I'm getting ready to jump in this water, man.
I love that attitude. I'm ready for the beach. I tell you, Californians are on the beach. I think we're going to have a showdown this weekend between the governor, Gavin Newsom, and the locals. And I feel for them because I used to live there in Huntington Beach. I love the beach. Everybody's flocking to the beach. The beach is where you want to be now. Tell you what, we won't get too much into news and politics here. We're going to get right into write your book in 60 days. But 1 week from today, we've had a lot of people register, and you can actually go register now. I was on the phone with GoDaddy, had a few technical challenges, but if you go to writebook60days.com, you should be able to click on the link. Let me just test it out there. And yeah, boom, boom, sign
Boom,
up. Yeah. Oh, it actually takes you to a YouTube video. So when we're done with this chat, Daniel, I'll actually put the Zoom registration link where people can go and register. And I'm gonna share my screen and jump right in. We'll come back in a moment to the. There we go. There we go.
Well, I want to tell you, I love the title, 60days.com, right? So most people don't think that they can write a book ever. And people say, is 60 days realistic, Mr. Michael Butler? Let me tell you, yes, it's realistic. I can tell you the first book I ever wrote, I wrote it in about 88 days. And the second book, I wrote it in 60 days. And when you challenged me to that, man, I was like, this guy is crazy.
You did. Well, we're going to hear more in a minute from you. But, I mean, how did you get it over the finish line? Because here's the problem. 97% of Americans quit the game. I mean, 85% want to write a book, but 97% never, ever get it done. They just drop out. How did you get the ball across the finish line?
Well, the biggest problem I've seen in coaching aspiring authors to write their book is they try to write and edit, write and fix. Don't worry about writing and editing, writing and fixing. Just write. The main thing is you got to let your creative juices run. And the problem I see a lot of young aspiring authors do is they try to write and then they want it perfect. So they go back and re-edit everything and you're never going to get it done. Just throw all your great content out there. Because what happens is this, Michael, is once you just throw everything out there, there's actually paragraphs that you can use on another chapter that might not even work in that chapter you're thinking it's about. So just let the creative juices mode.
Stay in creative mode. Keep the juices flowing. So I want to jump right. I'm going to come back to you in a minute, Daniel. Why do people want to write a book? Well, people want to write a book to establish credibility, to be seen as an expert, to get speaking gigs, to get media interviews, to pick up new clients. Daniel, has writing your book helped you with some of this? Credibility, influence, being able to charge more, right? These are all people would write a book. And so, I mean, to me, this is a huge fact right here from the Publishing Institute, 380% revenue boost for consultants, 194% revenue boost for real estate agents. Do you know any realtors or public speakers that could use a boost to their income right now? That's unreal, right? But
that's a no-brainer.
Who am I? I'm just a nerd kid from Oklahoma with my library card maxed out. And this is actually me giving my first speech at age 11 and a half, Daniel. And I want to encourage you to stick around. That's my parents, their 50th wedding anniversary, a single dad of 4 sons. But if you stick around till the end, we're going to keep this short. We'll go about 15 minutes. I'm going to give everybody on this webinar at the end, I'm going to give you a free 88-page copy of my book, bestseller status. This has helped hundreds of authors write best-selling books. Okay, so stick around. You're going to love it. And I've been really fortunate and blessed in my life. You know, I stuttered as a kid, Daniel. You know my story. And kids laughed at me, and I was naturally outgoing. But when kids made fun of me, I didn't want to talk anymore. I went into a shell. But I learned how to overcome the stuttering with some speech therapy and some big dreaming and some help from above. And this is me giving my first speech to 250 of my classmates in 6th grade right there. And stick around. Yeah, that's actually me. I had a full head of hair. And
I didn't say nothing about the hair.
Here's the thing. It's tougher than ever to write a book that really sticks and to write a book that really makes an impact. Now, I'm going to tell you that we've got to grab, it's a noisy place to be, and we got to be able to grab people's attention in the first 7 seconds. And so here's what I'm going to do on this webinar that starts next week, and it's totally free. It's a valuable webinar. We're offering it for 8 weeks. I'm investing hours of my life into you if you have a book in you to help you get the book out to the world. And the webinar is totally free. But there is a commitment that you need to make. You need to make the commitment to me that you're wanting to sharpen your axe. Now, my brother and I grew up on the farm, and we used to go cut wood with my dad every weekend. He'd take the chainsaw. We would jump in the back of the 63 Chevy. We would drive about 4 or 5 miles down the road. We'd bring my German Shepherd dog, and my brother and I would have to pile brush and then chop wood. We'd take that wood home and chop a rick of wood every week. That was one of our chores that we had to do. But I'm going to help you, and Daniel's going to help you sharpen your axe, bring your book to the world in 8 weeks. Now, maybe your goal is to not sign an A-list movie actor because of the result of your book. The first book we took to #1 on Amazon was actually a fiction book, Pineville Heights, Lee Chambers. 27 film awards later, he signed Boo Boo Stewart from the Twilight series. Maybe that's not your dream, and maybe it's not your goal to speak in 85 countries like Alex Morton, who we published him 2 years ago, Dorm Room to Millionaire, translated him into Spanish, currently translating him into Estonian and German and Russian. And you know what? He's been in 85 countries in the last 2 years. He spoke to 35,000 entrepreneurs on Grant Cardone's stage, and that's a door the book opened for him. Daniel, you're going to be on Grant Cardone's stage in Toronto here in a few months. And so I'm excited for you on that because the book's opening doors. You're on Good Morning San Antonio here. I think that's right. Good Morning San Antonio, right?
Yes. That's in actually San Antonio, living here in San Antonio. That was awesome. That was a great experience. I'll tell you, a book opens up so many doors that if you're not making an effort to write a book, you're missing opportunities. Because when I wrote my first book, it got me in front of, I think I got like 2 coaching clients from being on TV here locally on CBS and WOAI, and it opens up doors, Mike.
Well, it really does, and not to mention the fact that you're already working on your 3rd and 4th book, and it continues to open doors. Now, this is an event we did in South Africa. 2,000 women showed up for an event when we launched a book last year. Daniel, it was 7:30 on a Saturday morning, and 2,000 women showed up in South Africa. So go figure. But it does open doors. Now, when it comes to writing your manuscript, there's one of 3 ways to do it. You can write it yourself, and this is where 95% of authors get stuck. Is they get stuck because they try to write it themselves, but life gets in the way, and it just never happens. 5 years from now, it's not a priority. They've forgotten about it. Or you can hire a ghostwriter. For anybody that's ever done a Google search to try to hire a ghostwriter, you realize quickly that can be between $15,000 and $45,000 or up, depending, on the research involved. And that's pretty much ballpark anywhere you search. And so that's a pretty good investment. That's not doable for most people. Or you can do it the third way is we can team write with you and we can do group writing. So this group of speakers here in London, I hosted an event in London last year, a Beyond Publishing event. We had 8 authors on the stage from 8 different countries. Now, looking at these people, do they look like the type of people that want to write the book themselves, or do they look like they're more the type that likes to hang out and have fun?
Well, by seeing those purple shoes, I say he doesn't want to write a book. Oh, baby.
You know, he's one of the top trained network marketers in the world. He's from India, and he's got global appreciation day he does every year in April. And I tell you, he's an amazing guy. He lives in central London now, but he just opened so many doors. And then we had Switzerland here, we had Malaysia, we had Japan here, and we had Italy here, and London, of course, and France. So we had, and of course, me being the American there with the wild jacket. So here's what I want to give you. I want to take 3 minutes and give you writing tips that really work. And this is what you're going to get in the course for 8 weeks. Every week you're going to get writing tips. So you need to write at the same time every day. It's going to help you. You need to write in the same location every day. It's like exercising. There's something that happens in your neurons every day when you write in the same place and at the same time every day. And I'm going to give you 3 tested tips to help you stay creative. I'm going to show you what to do if you get stuck and how to get unstuck. I'm going to show you why, Daniel, you should never get feedback from your family on your book. 0. Now you're shocked and surprised.
I agree on that one. 120%. That's like going to get marriage counseling from your great uncle that's been divorced 6 times.
Yeah, or getting business coaching from your other uncle. From your other uncle that's looking for his stimulus check, right? So this is the other thing, is trying to edit kills creativity. And I'm going to show you how to do research and development on your topic before you even write the first sentence. I'm going to show you exactly how to find out what people are searching for that you can include. I'm going to show you how to make every chapter title a workshop and a keynote and something you can monetize as a podcast interview before you even write the book, so that your 10 or 12 chapters are going to be, they could stand alone as a money maker for you as a vertical. Okay. You're going to find your voice.
What do I sign up at? What do I sign up at?
But wait, I know you're getting excited, and I know you got your credit card out. I said this is free. You're going to get 8 weeks of personalized and group coaching. You're going to get our private Facebook group where we're going to have 24/7 mentoring and coaching there. You can ask any question you want. We're going to take care of you. We're going to look after you. You're going to have a free one-on-one with me, a free Zoom call with me for 30 minutes to give you manuscript feedback and talk about your story. We've got a ton of tools and resources. We actually started this group in 2015. And when I add you to the group, you're going to see the coaching resources I had in there for the team in 2015. It's just amazing. Some of my slides really look funky. They're not cool like my slides I do now here. We're going to have special guests like Daniel will be on there. We'll have Ashley Trevino. She just finished her book. And we're going to have some other great guests on there to encourage us and motivate us. But if you commit to an hour a week, and you commit to an hour a week to the group and an hour a week to yourself, we're going to help you get this book knocked out in 8 weeks. And it's a total value of $2,500, and we're providing it totally for free. But you got to be able to commit to it, okay? You got to be able to commit the next 8 weeks from May 8th. We're doing 4 weeks in May and 4 weeks in June. Hey, listen, by the 4th of July, we can literally launch your book and have an explosive 4th of July author spotlight, beyond publishing, book launch party. And just think about it. Your voice to the world. RSVP now and write book in 60 days. Now, here's the exact thing you're going to get each week, Daniel. Tell me what you think about this. Number 1, discover your why. Did you know 97 to 98% of authors that are stuck for the last 5 years, this is why, because they don't know why they're writing a book. We're going to go deep on this. Some of you are going to cry. And if you're not okay with crying in front of the group, and if you're not okay with being challenged or being coached constructively, I'll say, in front of the group, this group is not for you. If you have wit feeling, it's not for you.
Do you know what Mari told me yesterday?
What?
She told me I'm a crybaby now.
Well, I love that about you because, hey, listen, if you're not comfortable crying in front of a group of strangers, how do you expect to get on stage and make $15,000 a speech, right?
Yeah, no, because we were just there, and I said, it just touched my heart. She goes, honey, I love you, but you're such a crybaby now. And she said it joking, of course, but it's okay to show your emotions. So awesome. I love that.
Well, I tell you what, guys that can cry and guys that can wear pink, you got a special place in my heart. And women, 80% of the book buyers and book readers are women. So if you're in touch with your emotions, then good for you if you're a guy and can do that. So number 2, we're going to identify the target. We're going to help you write the book backwards to really identify who that reader is and how to put those 8 avatars on front of you on your wall and in your mirror. So when you're writing to that specifically 1 to 8 people every single day. We're going to determine if your book needs to be a memoir or a how-to. There's a formula we do for that. We're going to work together on the outline. Week 4, you're going to have an outline. By week 5, and every one of these chapters can be a standalone vertical, a keynote, a workshop, a podcast interview, or coaching program. No other publisher, no other writing program is going to help you with that. We're going to help you with the title and the subtitle, not only for humans, but for search engines. Plus, we're going to tell you the right mix of leftovers versus fresh content. When you can use leftovers, when you don't want to ever use leftovers from your blog posts and past interviews, and when you need, and how to create fresh content. And here's my favorite, the 5-step formula for each chapter. Listen, I've done 33,000 paid keynote speeches in the last 25 years, and I'm going to take that same formula. I'm going to show you how to use my unique 5-step formula. Daniel, you and I have used this formula. You've got your formula. I've got this 5-step formula. But did this 5-step formula help you knock out the chapters quicker?
Yeah, it just gives you an outline. And I think like anything else, when you have an outline, a guide to go by, it makes things simple. Because put it this way, if you don't have a picture to go by, your mind doesn't know what to look at, where to go. And it's like, just think of it as a puzzle, right? It's a piece of the puzzle, and it definitely makes it easier. Because if I was to tell you, hey, Michael, put this puzzle together, and you're like, good, I'll give you $100. But then I said, well, there's one catch to it. You're going to have to put the puzzle together without the picture of the actual puzzle put together. You couldn't do it. It'd take you a lot longer. And this is what you're doing, is you're giving us that magic piece to put everything together.
By the time you get to those last 3 or 4 chapters, you're literally going to be able to knock them out in a couple hours each. It's beautiful. And so I've been doing this for a long time. I've been seeing this happen for a long time. I love it when I share the screen and I go back and it's that infinity mirror. And yes, Christine Grant, yes, indeed. She's one of our authors. She wrote her first book in 21 days. We actually, the fastest we actually had to write an author used this formula and wrote her book in 14 days. So it can be done. You don't sleep much, but hey, if you're motivated, that's how it works. My second favorite is mastering the rewrite and polishing, because this is actually where we take the knife and scalpel to your manuscript, and we show you how to do it. We show you how to trim it down and create the masterpiece. And then I'm going to give you a bonus called marketing the book. Okay, so go ahead and go to writebook60days.com, and as soon as this webinar is over, I'm going to actually share the Zoom link in the chat and in the comments, and then also on this website, because it didn't quite come through. I told you if you stuck around to the end, I'd give you a free gift, and here it is. Go grab the free gift right now. And Daniel, your book is just beautiful. Sticker shock, the day you realize you're worth millions. And I know you're calling on car dealerships. What I love so much about this book, the riches are in the niches, and people that say, oh, my book's for everybody. Listen, your book's for nobody. Nobody's going to buy your book if you're writing a book for everybody. Now, Daniel, you wrote this book specifically for general managers of car dealerships and sales managers at car dealership. How has specializing in the niches helped you create more riches for your pocket?
Well, actually, it was pretty awesome, because I picked up, I know we're in the COVID-19 era, but here in San Antonio, the city opened up. So I'm excited about that. But I actually I sold about 10 of them before we went into lockdown. And the seller just called me back and said, thank you, man. This is great stuff. I'm new. I needed this. And it just gave me fulfillment. And then I had another general sales manager reach out to me, and they were like, hey, we want to get you in here as soon as this thing opens up. And it's great because it's like, just think about a beautiful, beautiful business card. That's what you're leaving, and you're never going to leave their mind because it has value, it has great content, and it shows them what you're going to bring to the table. And that's what people want to see. People want to deal with people that bring value in these days, because there's enough jokesters right there, right? There's enough people that just are, I don't want to say, we'll just say flaky. They promise you the world, they under deliver. And when you overpromise, when you under promise and over deliver, that's what that book does for me, Michael.
Well, you know what? It's like this, Daniel. We're going to have Ben. We're going to actually have Ben. I appreciate your comments. Ben has sold 5 million copies of his books, and that was pre-internet. So Ben's going to be one of our guests on one of those weeks, one of those segments. And you're going to be one of our guests on one of those segments, is really how to turn your book into speaking gigs. You can see Christine Grant was actually scheduled to speak at a national conference as a result of her book. And also we're going to show the attendees how to leverage stages, but also how to leverage virtual stages. You've been a paid speaker for a long time. I've been a paid speaker for a long time. We're going to talk about speakers bureaus, but for the most part, we're going to talk about the boot camp, the training program called Write Book 60 Days. So listen, guys, we're going to have a lot of fun. Daniel, I appreciate you for joining me. I want everyone to go RSVP now, because listen, we're going to cap this. We're going to keep this under 20 people so we can do all of our group exercises. We can get you the proper amount of feedback. This is specifically for non-fiction authors, okay? Non-fiction authors only on this go round. But it's 8 weeks. You're going to get done. If you're committed to an hour a week as a group and an hour a week on your own with the homework, then hey, listen, in 8 weeks, literally 60 days, by July 1, your book's going to be done. And literally we could launch your book and have a fireworks launch party virtually and in person where you are, with books in hand to sell. It's cool to have books in hand to sell to your friends and family. That's the only time you get feedback from your family, is will that be making change for $50 bills. That's when you get feedback. So,
so let me interject this, Michael. I'll never forget the first time I spoke and I really had my book in my hand, and they paid me my honorarium. Well, I made an additional $1,000 that day, because I literally sold out of my book, and I made an additional, actually $1,020 in additional revenue aside from what they paid me. And if you would have told me, wow, it's you're leaving money on the table if you don't write a book in the long run. Put it that way.
High five. I appreciate you, Daniel. Guys, I'm gonna share the link right now. Go register. We start 1 week from today. You got to be committed. You got to pass my interview, and it's a tough interview. I'm going to grill you to make sure it's right. And if you're not passionate, if you don't convince me that you're ready to do this, you're not in. So I have a feeling there's going to be, a good 18, 20 people in this group. So if you're passionate, I'm going to let you in. Okay, Daniel, thanks so much. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, my friend. We'll see you on the beaches and in the bookstores of the world.
I'm going to go jump in this water right now, Michael. I'll catch you on the rebound. Woo!
All right, surf's up, baby. Watch out for Gavin Newsom, man.
Woo-woo!